Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Welcome po sa isa na namang episode ng online series ni Inang Pamantasan kung saan ang pagkatuto ay walang hanggan. Ito ang PNU Talks. Ako nga pala si Oliver at ako ang inyong learning from home buddy sa episode na ito. Sa kasalukuyan po, ako ay nagtuturo sa Sekolah Pilita Harapan, Fluid Village, Jakarta, Indonesia bilang isang physical education teacher. Ngayong araw na ito ay susubukan ko pong ibahagi sa inyo ang aking nalalaman tungkol sa blended learning. Students learn in part through online delivery of content and instruction with some element of control over individual learning style. It is a formal education program in which students learn part online, part away from home, and along a learning path. Part online. According to Clifford Maxwell on his article entitled What Blended Learning Is and Isn't, students learn at least part through online learning with some element of student control over time, place, path, or pace. Part away from home, students learn at least in part in a supervised brick and mortar location away from home. So going back when we say part online, in all blended learning programs, students do some of their learning via the internet. And online learning means a shift from face-to-face teacher to web-based content and instruction. And then part away from home, when we say brick and mortar, that means a physical building and tends a physical school with a teacher or a guide. Integrated learning experience, the modalities along each student's learning path within a course or subject are connected to provide an integrated learning experience. And let us be careful when we talk about blended learning, and at the same time, we want to put in a technology into it. So when we say blended learning, students learn in part through online learning, and they have an element of control over where, when, and how they work. While the tech-rich instruction, students use technology to do the same work at the same place, time, and pace. So the element of control is given to the student, at least, right, when they work. Second, devices are used to leverage opportunity for personalization. While tech-rich instruction, devices are used to support traditional instruction. And classrooms fundamentally shift instruction in a way that provides an integrated learning experience. While the tech-rich one, classroom may enhance traditional learning experience. There are 7 models when we talk about blended learning, and I think there are more than, right? And for today's session, I'll be just looking into some and how can we apply it in physical education. So namely station rotation, lab rotation, individual rotation, flipped classroom, flex, a la carte, and Enrich Virtual. These are according to blendedlearning.org. Now, with the pandemic we are forced to set aside the face-to-face. So it's online learning, e-learning, right? So we are forced not to do face-to-face, mainly because of this pandemic. So what are the things that we need to do in order for us to adapt on our current situation? Now, as I've read the transition from ECQ to GCQ, higher education institution may hold classes through flexible learning arrangement to finish 2019 to 2020. And these are all subject to the guidelines that will be issued by CHED. So as a PE teacher, now the question is, how can we still reach to our students and deliver the things that they need to learn? From the PNU talks that I've listened and watched, I think that was 2 weeks ago, Mr. Jose Marie Calamlam, his thesis entitled 21st Century E-Learning Module Assessment Tool, he used the following indicators for self-paced out-of-class activity. And we can also use the same indicators for us to design a blended learning in physical education, namely, presents objectives and easy-to-follow instructions, create or collect contents that are relevant in achieving the lesson objectives, accesses contents best delivered through direct instruction online, arranges tasks carefully to provide meaningful flow of ideas, and allow learners to learn at their own pace, differentiate instruction to accommodate meaningful learning, provides immediate feedback on learners' performance, and lastly, considers way to motivate learners to complete the out-of-class activity. Now, the models that I'm going to mention would still need face-to-face, but in time of pandemic, we need to modify in order for us to reach to our students. So I think we can use flipped classroom. What is flipped classroom? Flipped classroom models flips the traditional relationship between class time and homework. Students learn at home via online coursework and lectures, and teachers use class time for teacher-guided practice or projects. This model enables teachers to use class time for more than delivering traditional lectures. So in PE, maybe we can deliver the instruction through online, though we are not going to meet face-to-face because of the COVID-19. But I think we can modify this one still for us to reach to our students. Flex model lets students move on fluid schedules among learning activities according to their needs. Online learning is the backbone of student learning in a flex model. Teachers provide support and instruction on a flexible, as-needed basis, while students work through course, curriculum, and content. This model can give students a high degree of control over their learning. So most likely we can adopt this one. But again, we are removing the face-to-face. And lastly, Enrich Virtual. Enrich Virtual model is an alternative to full-time online school that allows students to complete the majority of coursework online at home or outside school, but attend school for required face-to-face learning session with a teacher. Unlike flipped classroom, Enrich Virtual programs usually don't require daily school attendance. Some programs may only require twice weekly attendance, for example. So in this way, we can use Enrich Virtual as long as we check on the indicators or the things that we need to see and we need to do, right, before we deliver our lesson. Now, just to share with you, these are the things that I am doing as of the moment. So I am using Padlet, and these are the grade levels that I am handling. So I would post announcements or the things that they need to complete in Padlet. And of course, with the primary or grade school, they need assistance from the parents. So they are our, we need them, the parents, right, in order for us to continue learning, or in order for the kids to continue learning. So that we need a partnership with the parents. Another is, so this is inside the Padlet. So I would ask them to post 1 to 3 minute video of them doing an exercise in order for them to, to encourage to stay active. And even though we cannot access maybe a facility outside, how can we stay physically active? So I asked them to video themselves, maybe around 1 to 2 minute video, and I would check them on another LMS. So this is one example. Okay? And I also post videos wherein they can do PE at home together with their families. And another is Seesaw. So the videos that they record, I would ask them to upload it in Seesaw, and all the levels that I'm handling are here. Okay, and you can give immediate feedback to the students, right, and maybe encouragement on how they can stay active for the rest of the week. And also, I would do a 15-minute Zoom exercise with my class. This is a good way for me to check in with them, how they are, and maybe a good way for me to encourage them to stay active, to do exercise. And napakaganda nung nakikita nila na yung PE teacher nila is with them or nag-exercise kasabay nila. Though there are limitations in doing Zoom, but we are here to, to adopt and to learn from the things that we are doing. Now, one of the webinars that I attended last week talks about challenges and opportunities in teaching PE and school sports online. The lecturers were Dr. Salve Fabila and Professor Oscar Santelices, and they mentioned the following: teaching modalities and considerations. So we should be aware of the nature of PE, the requirements under GCQ, and the needs of students. Teacher preparation, ongoing survey, meeting, planning, training programs on online teaching. I know this is a difficult time for us teachers, specifically PE teachers, because we are used to in doing face-to-face teaching. Teacher role: work with co-teacher, collaborate, modify or calibrate, but never deviate from competencies. And of course, the fitness goal should be there. We encourage our kids to continue physical activity at home, and this requires creativity and collaboration with our co-teachers. And of course, student assessment, portfolios and journals. Okay. Aside from that, there is also opportunity. This is also an opportunity for us to innovate new modalities of teaching. Wag po tayong matakot to be out of our box to learn new things. I also learned that you have the DepEd Commons. I think this is a good way for us to share best practices or the things that we are doing in online, and to collaborate with each other. Okay, so you can, I know you're familiar with this, you can visit their website. So these are the things that we can do. Also, I've heard the CEPA in COVID from the University of the Philippines. There are advices on how are we going to stay active and do PE, okay, or physical activity. Okay. And these are the tools that I'm using whenever I'm looking for materials in teaching PE. And the one on the left is open. That's Online Physical Education Network. So libre po yan. Pwede pong mag-subscribe sa kanila. Wala pong babayaran. Mag-email lang. You put in your email and then you can access great resources. And also Spark curriculum. Ngayon nga po, dahil sa COVID, maraming mga platforms na ganito, they offer free. Okay? So we take this opportunity to learn. And another I would like to mention is Connected PE. So Connected PE is an app wherein you need to pay. I am thankful for the school because they were able to purchase this one for me, and napakarami po ng natutunan ko, and patuloy po akong natututo sa pagpanood ng webinars and lesson nila how are we going to deliver online PE. To end my sharing today, I read this tip box from a book, Teaching Sport Concept and Skills by Michelle and Oslin and Griffin. Change can be difficult. Start with small changes, build on them, and be persistent. Ako din po ay nahihirapan. At sana po ay magtulong-tulong tayo upang malampasan natin itong pagsubok na ito. And then, 2 Bible verses from Nahum 1:7. The Lord is good, a stronghold in a day of distress. He cares for those who take refuge in Him. And Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and future. Sana po ay may natutunan kayo sa aking sharing today regarding blended learning. At kung meron po mga katanungan, wag po kayong mag-atubiling i-comment ang inyong mga kuro-kuro tungkol sa episode ngayong araw. Huwag kalimutang i-like at i-share ang episode natin. Sa muli, ako si Oliver at sumainyo ang PNU Talks.